What's up, everyone? Today I'm going to show you a couple things you need to know about camo wraps before you get it done on your car. I'm Lucas, and this is Astral. So the reason I want to make this video is that camo wraps are getting pretty popular right now, and if you're thinking about getting one, I feel like there's some things that you should know about camo wraps. So this is my truck. Excuse the dirt and the salt. The roads are a mess up here. But I've wrapped this in vivid black stealth camo. I think that's what it's called. Stealth black camo, something like that. This is a printed camo, and I want to get in close so you could see. So this is the fender. As you can see, there's all these different shapes, but the important thing to know is that all these different shapes are not individual pieces. This is one gigantic piece that I laid down from all the way from the bed to the front. Actually, no, from the cab to the front, and the bed I did separately. But this, again, the main point here is that these are not different pieces. This is one piece. So this is one option if you're looking for a camo wrap, a printed vinyl that you can just go out and buy. Anyone can go and buy it. Just go on Vivid's website and you can go buy this, and it's no problem. There's another way that shops are doing camo wraps, and that's what I want to go over today to show you what you should expect if you're a customer. I've cut out some pieces of vinyl from leftover rolls, and some shops will do this. They have these leftover bits of material, and they can piece them together to make a custom camo wrap. So I have these shapes that I've cut out from scrap vinyl. I mean, it wasn't stored properly. You can tell it's all kind of creased, but it's good enough to demonstrate the purpose of this video. So some shops will have their leftover material like this. They'll cut it into custom shapes or a custom design that you choose as your customer or as their customer. And then they make this custom pattern on your car. So I'm going to do that with these shapes, and I'll show you the pros and cons of doing that. I'm going to just randomly put these shapes down. And I'm only going to do a small portion, obviously, because there's not that much vinyl here. Let's do it like this. Why not? So we peel this up. Peel this. Toss that. Okay. We'll place this, just, again, this is just absolutely, completely random. We'll place it like this. Okay. Squeegee this down. Okay. So I'm going to focus on the hood. I'm not going to worry about the fender down there because that's not the point. The reason I'm using these colors is because they're common for a customer to ask for. They're obviously like military style colors. I'll overlap quite a bit. Okay. Squeegee this down. All right, let's put our next piece. Let's do it like that. Yeah, that looks pretty cool. Okay, so squeegee this down. Get the air out. So obviously it's much faster to do. Well, I don't know if it's faster overall, but doing these small pieces is very easy. Don't have to worry about stretching and bending around different contours. Okay, last piece. Let's put it up here. Actually, can we bend around that perfectly? You know what? Let's just do it like this, because this will illustrate my point pretty clearly. Yeah, that's exactly what I wanted to happen. Okay. Put the squeegee down. Okay. Perfect. So on camera, it's picking it up. I'm a little low. Sorry about that. So here is like the beginning of the design we would do for the whole vehicle. It looks pretty cool, random camel pattern. You can imagine the whole car looks like this and it would look awesome. And obviously on Instagram and whenever you see these videos and pictures, it always they're always taken at the best angle, the best lighting, and it looks really, really good. Now, from far, this looks good. But when we get closer, there's something you need to be aware of as a customer. And look, you can see, forget all the dirt and paint chips like this, but you see all of these lines, right? This is what the car will look like if the shop is overlapping the vinyl, which like they will overlap the vinyl, because if you don't overlap it, it looks weird. Some air under there. It doesn't look right. So like you couldn't see these lines from a different angle or from the lighting when I started this video, but now like look, they're so evident, right? They stick. Now here I can't see any, right? Because the light doesn't hit it. But once I move over here, boom, they pop out. So if you see this, if you go to a shop to get a camo wrap and the agreement is that they're going to be using different pieces, individual pieces, if the wrap comes out looking like this is not something to get mad at the shop for, right? Because there's no other way to do it. You can't hide the seams. This is when you overlap vinyl, this is what happens. This is not the shop's fault. That's just what vinyl does. So I wanted to show this to make sure you're aware of that as a customer. From here, like I said, certain angle, if I come back here, look at that, right? You can't tell. And then you get closer and you can see all the different lines. Personally, I don't like this. I really don't like this. But that's just my personal preference. If you like it, if it doesn't bother you, by all means, do it. It's just not for me. Again, if we go back to my truck, we'll come over here. I still have, so looking at this, I still have all those different shapes, that effect that you saw on the hood over there, but there's none of those lines underneath. This is just very smooth, and I can't feel any of those ridges. Okay, like I said, it's one piece. It's not multiple pieces. There is a third way that shops can do a camo wrap, and that is a custom printed wrap. So what they do, like the design I did on this hood, you make your own design with them. You work with a graphic designer, come up with your custom design, and then they print it onto hopefully either 3M or Avery, right? That's where they print the design onto, and then the car or the vehicle is wrapped in that film. If it was up to me and money was no object, it didn't matter, I had unlimited money, I would go with that option if I wanted a camo wrap. It'll look the best. You're installing with, in my opinion, some of the best material, and it'll be easy to install and last a long time. However, it costs more because you got to work with a designer. You have to print it out, which costs more. You need to put a laminate over top of it to protect it, and then you need to install it. So it's the cost is much higher. That would be my number one if I had unlimited money. My second option would be using this Vivid wrap that I used. The finish, it looks really good. I'm happy with the camo. It looks very clean. It's lasting a long time. It's holding up in this winter and salt. The only issue is, so if you look here, this is where my stupid self made a mistake, but I was trying to stretch around these contours in the fender, and this specific vinyl, particular one, not Vivid itself, but this particular camo from Vivid. So not all Vivid films are like this, but I heated up too much, and honestly, I didn't use that much heat. It's not like I was blasting it because it's not that big of a contour or a curve. It's just a little bit. I was just trying to relax the film, but you can see it's discolored here, right? So that was kind of annoying. The film, that if you were going to get this black camo, the stealth camo, and you're going to install it yourself, just be aware of that. It really does not like heat. And the initial tack is a bit higher. And so you have to be aware of that. But this would be my second option because, like I said, there's none of those lines, none of those ridges or weird seams. It looks good. It looks really good, actually. Zoom out, except for that stupid spot down there where it's discolored. It looks awesome. I'm really happy with it. We come back here and we have the custom design with using leftover vinyl. Again, it's not that bad for back here. It looks good. Like this doesn't look bad. But when I come up here and in the right light, I don't know. It bothers me. Let me know what you guys think. If you think the same thing, if it bothers you, or if you think I'm overreacting. It's just not for me. However, if I went to a shop and they were going to offer a big discount on the wrap because they were going to use these pieces, then I could see why you would go with that, because you're going to save a ton on material costs. If they're using leftover material, you're going to save a lot of money paying the shop for material costs. I can't imagine they would charge you what they would charge you for a new roll. That wouldn't make sense to me. If it worked out to be like a deal, instead of paying the thousands it would have been to get that custom printed wrap on the Avery or 3M, I could see why you would go with this, But to me, it would be my third option of that list. So I'd go with the printed custom wrap. Again, this is money being no object. Printed custom wrap. Then I go with the Vivid, the stealth camo that I did on my truck. And then this would be my third option. Let me know what you guys think. If you agree with that order, would you change it up? What am I missing, or what should I give more value to? That's just my opinion. And I want you to be aware as a customer, if you go to get a camo wrap, that if it's pieced together, that's what it will look like. There is nothing a shop can do to hide this. Impossible. Okay, that's just how it is if they're using multiple pieces like I used here. If they're using one piece like my truck or a printed wrap, it won't look like this. You'll have a very smooth pattern. Okay, and you get to design that custom pattern if it's a printed one. Another thing you need to know if you're getting a camo wrap, or if you're doing a camo wrap or any type of wrap, that urban camo or sticker bomb or anything like that, if you're doing a wrap on your car with multiple pieces, you have to think about the removal of that wrap. If I want to take this apart or I want to peel this off, I have to peel all of these pieces individually. So I have to peel this green one, I have to peel this tan one, I have to peel this tan one, and I have to peel this green one. Now, obviously, you're going to try and find the one that's at the bottom, so it helps lift up the other ones. But still, it's not as easy as peeling one gigantic piece for the hood, for the fender, for the door, right? It's going to take a lot more time. If I want to peel the wrap off my truck, I just find an edge, like right here. I just grab this edge right here, and this whole sheet will come off. Now, that won't happen with what we piece together on the hood. You have to take all of them off individually. So if you're going to a shop, they're going to charge you more for that, because I've done it before and it is a headache. I've done even a sticker bomb one before, and that it takes forever, right? It takes hours to do it. If you're doing it yourself, just be aware of it. It's going to take you a lot more time than you think. So always be aware of the removal process when you're putting on your wrap, right? Because it's not going to stay on forever. It's not meant to be permanent. So when it does come off, just think about what that's going to be like. It's going to be difficult or take time or be a headache or whatever. Just something to be aware of. If you're thinking about getting a camo wrap, you should be aware of these things. You should be aware of your different options and make the choice that's best for you. Again, that's just my personal preference, going with the printed wrap, then the Vivid, and then piecing one together. That's the order I would do it. But that ultimately comes down to the look you're going for and your budget. Those are the most important things, and what you're going to be happy with, because it's your vehicle. If I'm wrong about anything, let me know. We can talk about it, make another video. But that's it, guys. Thanks for watching.